Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Now, you know the old saying, elections have consequences? Right now, we are knee-deep in a steaming pile of consequence. Because right now, things that are self-evidently bad are being sold to us by people who know better as perfectly okay. The latest is that the President of the United States in the Oval Office revealed highly classified information to the Russian foreign minister and ambassador. It is the worst presidential security breach since Reagan said this.
Mr. Gorbachev, our nuclear launch codes are 17, 26, 5, with a Powerball of 37.
We miss you, Ronnie. We miss you, Ronnie. Apparently, and this is what we're being reported in the Washington Post, that Trump was showing off for his guests, telling the Russians, I get great intel. I have people brief me on great intel every day. Well, yeah, you're the president. It's the job. It's like the guy working the fry station saying, you would not believe the tater tots I have access to. If, in this metaphor, tater tots were a top-secret snack provided by our allies. Because it's not just who Trump leaked the information to, it's where we got it from. Israel was the source of the intelligence Trump gave the Russians, and oops a shalom, Trump is scheduled to visit Israel next week. That is really going to be one awkward state dinner. Mr. President, can you please pass the hummus, or would you prefer to pass it directly to Russia? And this might not be a surprise to the Israelis, because before Donald Trump was inaugurated, American officials warned their Israeli counterparts to be careful about what they told the Trump administration, because it could be leaked to the Russians. And just to be safe, while he's there, don't let him see any of those notes tucked in the Western Wall. Ooh, Sarah's asking God for strength through her divorce. Vlad's gonna love that one. Now, when the news broke, the White House immediately deployed National Security Advisor and Mr. Clean's disappointed dad, H.R. McMaster.
The story that came out tonight, as reported, is false. At no time were intelligence sources or methods discussed. I was in the room. It didn't happen.
Okay, so a complete denial by the most respected member of the Trump administration. Smart strategy. And following that, Donald Trump did the right thing by giving someone else the final word and not contradicting it on Twitter. I'm just kidding. He said, as president, I wanted to share with Russia an openly scheduled White House meeting, which I have the absolute right to do, facts pertaining ... blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter what he said from there, because he just confessed. Okay? This explains why he doesn't write murder mysteries. Chapter 1, I did it. And the timing of this could not possibly be worse. Trump met with these Russians in the Oval Office one day after he fired FBI head Jim Comey. That's like starting a Tinder account on the way home from your spouse's funeral. I would say, I'm saying it's a bad thing. You understand? Oh. I'm saying that's not a good thing to do. I would say the White House has no shame, but they have a little. Because the one person at the meeting they didn't originally advertise was there was Russian ambassador and man whose chin has its own smile, Sergei Kislyak. Kislyak is considered by our intelligence community as a top Russian spy. And we know he was there because so were Russian cameramen. Look how much fun they're having. It's also worth pointing out that the meeting was set up by Trump as a personal favor to Vladimir Putin.
When I spoke with Putin, he asked me whether or not I would see Lavrov. Now, should I say no, I'm not going to see him?
Yes, you should say no. Say no for once to Vladimir Putin. What, I'm supposed to say no to Vladimir? Yeah. Or say niet if you want to be polite. So to recap, Donald Trump admitted to firing the man in charge of investigating his Russian ties. Then he met with 2 Russian diplomats, a meeting that was arranged by Vladimir Putin and which we only saw because Russian photographers were in there to take photos. And at that meeting, he admits he gave Russian diplomats classified information. For perspective on this, let's go live to presidential historian Doris Kearns-Goodwin. Doris, what's your reaction?
What's happening?
Thank you, Doris. Thank you. She's so sage.
Yeah, sage wisdom.
She always puts things in perspective for us. Now, so far, Congress's reaction has been similar to Doris's. One of the strongest criticisms of Trump's actions came from Republican Senator Bob Corker, who said that the White House is in a downward spiral right now. Yes, it's a slow descent into chaos. Jim, do we have any kind of metaphorical foreshadowing of that? Okay, yeah, there it is. There you have it. Should have seen it coming. He tried to tell us. He tried to tell us. Wow. I apologize, sir. You warned us. Corker wasn't the only one angry about mishandling classified info. Another top Republican weighed in, and he did not mince words.
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified.
I gotta say, and I don't care if this is taken out of context, I completely agree with Donald Trump.